Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Om Samastajana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram. Om Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langhayate Girim Yatkripatamaham Vande Paramanandamadhavam. Om Achaturvadano Brahma Dvibahuraparo Harihi Abhalalochana Shambhu Bhagavan Badarayanaha. Om Dakshine Lakshmano Yasya Vame Cha Janakatmaja Purato Marutir Yasya Tam Vande Raghunandanam. In verse number 17, Bhagavan said that this action that is to be given up, because the samuchaya or the integration of both is not possible, that giving up has to happen only when one's identification with the body due to ignorance is ended. Till that time, one has to perform all the duties as given in the scriptures, and by attaining the purity of mind and the knowledge from the Guru, with the scriptural injunction like not this, negate all these identifications and identity, and that is when all the actions drop off. Till such time we don't have to put in effort to drop any action. That itself is being again reiterated in the 18th verse which we read yesterday. Yada tada. When does this ignorance go away? How can I go beyond ignorance? Lakshmanji's question in the very beginning was that how can I, please tell me that, give me that knowledge, teach me so that I may cross over this ocean of ignorance quickly. Anjasa ajnana varidhim sukham tarishyami. So how I will be able to cross over this ocean of ignorance soon, easily. So this 18th verse seems to be a direct answer to that question. So once more we will read this verse, please repeat. Yada paratmatma vibheda bhedakam Vijnanamatmanyavabhati bhaswaram Tadaiva maya praviliyatenjasa सकारका कारणमात्म संसृतेः हाँ यदा तदा when then यदा विज्ञानम avabhati when this vijnanam means direct knowledge. Jnanam means that which is gained through the intellect as an object, like what we are doing right now. We are studying, we are just trying to comprehend it, what is being told. This is the grahanam of jnanam. But vijnanam means the direct experience, direct knowledge, where even the instruments are not required. That vijnanam. Avabhati, when it takes place. Where? Atmani, in our own heart. Now this Atma word is used in various places in different ways. Here, Atmani Avabhati means when it takes place in the heart. Now this heart also is a very important understanding, as Puja Gurudev explains in other places, also in Bhagavad Gita, etc. Heart is not talking about the physical pumping heart. Here, when the scriptures say heart, it means the spiritual heart. Now, what is the spiritual heart? In our lives, we always find there are two types of things that we deal with or we relate to. One type of thing is called what we like, or what we emotionally get connected to, what we love, where our mind is invested. And another set of things is what we value, what we respect, where our intellect is invested in. These two things are there. Shankaracharya ji gives examples. Like a person may love his wife, but will not value her. That same person values the king, but does not love the king. So love, and this happens even today. It is not in the times of the kings alone it is happening. Family is loved, but workplace is valued. So therefore, my heart is at home, but my intellect is in the office, and I am pulled apart. This happens in so many different ways. We find, we say, I have to do sadhana. Sadhana, what is, which part of us is there? Intellectually, I understand I should do sadhana. So, my buddhi says sadhana karo. Okay. But heart says, what is the matter? Why the hurry? Sleep for some more time. इतना जल्दी उठ के करना क्या है? थोड़ा सो जाओ. So these two keep pulling us apart. Eating also. Some things I like, some things I value. For health, this is important. But I like eating this. These two are pulling us. Whatever decision we take doesn't matter. We are going to suffer only. Because if we go with one, the other is going to keep on nagging us. Why did you do that? Why did you do that? Why did you do that? Go with the intellect, the mind will say, you got an opportunity to enjoy. What a fool you are. And you go with the mind, the intellect will say, you knew that you should not have indulged in that. Knowingly you jumped. It was suicidal. Now see, you are going to suffer. All that the doctor said is happening already started. Can you not see? So both. So if these two are disintegrated, disjoint, we are going to suffer. And such a person can make no spiritual progress. So here when scriptures say heart, Puja Gurudev says, when this mind and intellect come together, It is called integration of the mind and intellect. That integrated mind and intellect is called the Adhyatmika Hridaya or spiritual heart. This is what is meant here. So, what does it mean by integration? What I value, I love. And what I love, I value. When both these come together, that is why in Shri Ramcharitmanas we find, Tulsidas ji again and again gives this expression. This expression is very beautiful expression, Muda Mangala. Muda Mangala means that which gives joy to the mind, emotions, and Mangala, which is auspicious, means valuable to the intellect. Both in one place. And when this integration takes place, when I am able to appreciate what I value with my mind and emotions, when I am able to value what I like, both this when they integrate, then what happens? That Adhyatmik Hridaya is there. And in that Adhyatmik Hridaya only, this Vijnanam can take place. Investment of mind and intellect together have to happen. And wherever this investment happens, we succeed. Wherever. Whether it is in the external world or in the internal world. If both these together come and get focused, there is nothing but success. Because then rest of my personality has to follow. Because these two are the most important forces. If these two get integrated, then the senses will have to helplessly follow. The body will have to follow. And there will be success. Even in the external world. Somebody loves doing something and values that also. Then what happens? One succeeds. Arjuna loved archery and he valued it and learnt it, got trained, practiced. That is value. Both these got together and he was the best. So in everything that we do, if we integrate these two, that's where success lies. And here also he is saying, Vijnanam, this Vijnanam, where does it take place? Atmani avabhati. It takes place in the spiritual heart, that is, in the integrated mind and intellect. So this mind-intellect integration is the means to knowledge. And how does this integration take place? When I am focused on my intent, on my duties. Because what is duty? There is no other option. I have to do this. I have to do this comes from the intellect. And when I love it also, so this is my duty and I do it with all my heart, then what happens? The integration takes place. And when the integration takes place, knowledge is possible. This is what is the process. That is why in the very beginning said, Varnashrama Karma, one has to perform. Why? Because that will only integrate our mind and intellect. Otherwise we are scattered. I like to do this, but I have to do this. So somehow I finish what I have to do and then I will enjoy what I like to do. What is this? And then we are never happy. There is no integration taking place. But when I live like this, when I am focused on my performance of duties, and that too as a dedicated offering to the Lord. Now, offering to the Lord will bring the heart, the mind aspect, the emotion aspect. And dutifulness will bring the intellect aspect. When these two are combined, that is called Karma Yoga. And this Karma Yoga will ensure this integration. That is the preparation. And in that heart, Vijnanam, this direct knowledge can take place. What is this Vijnanam? What is the nature of this Vijnanam? So beautiful, two adjectives are given to qualify this Vijnanam, this direct knowledge. One is Bhaswaram Vijnanam. Bhaswaram Vijnanam means that shining knowledge. Bhaswaram means it itself is self-shining, means it does not need any other instrument or source of light to illumine it. I need instruments to know anything other than myself. But to know myself, I don't need any light or instrument. I know myself. To know anything else, now if it is outside, I need eyes or any other senses to know it. Okay, the eyes itself, I know it through the mind. The mind itself, the intellect knows what is the condition of the mind. But how will I know the intellect also? Who knows it? I know it. That also is an object different from me. But do I know the knower? And how to know the knower? Do I need an instrument? To see a reflection, I need a mirror. But to know myself that I am existing, do I need any mirror or instrument? Anything other than me, I need instruments. But me, myself, alone, how will I know? For example, if I have to know any object in the room, let us say, and there is no electricity at that time, it is dark at night, I have to know what all is there in the room. I take a flashlight or a torch and I see everything and I know what is there. Now let us say this torch is turned on and is covered with a thick black blanket. The torch turned on in the room covered with a thick black blanket. Now when I remove the blanket, do I need any other source of light to see the torch? It itself has light. In fact, that blanket also little bit, I will see some light. May not be as bright as the torch by itself, but that covering also is little bit light is there. Which light is it seen? That covering also is seen in the light of that same torch. And as soon as I remove it, I see it in all its brilliance. The sun, due to the heat of the sun, the waters evaporate and become clouds. The clouds are the effect of the sun. Sun's children are clouds. Now the clouds have come and we say the clouds have covered the sun. How do you know clouds have covered the sun? I can see, okay, in which light are you seeing the clouds? In the same sunlight only we are seeing the clouds also. And as soon as the clouds go away, the sun shines. Now do I need any other source of light to recognize that? Bhaswaram, this direct knowledge of the self is by itself shining. Means it doesn't need any other instrument, any other source of illumination. Bhaswaram. And what does this light do? He says, Paratma Atma Vibheda Bhedakam. It is Bhedakam. Bhedakam means breaking it, destroying it. What does it destroy or break? Bheda, Vibheda. It is destroying the difference, Vibheda. Difference between what? Paratma, the Supreme Self, and Atma, me. The difference between Paramatma and Atma, Jivatma. So, me and the all-pervading Supreme Self, this difference that I have got into my head because of my own ignorance. This difference, Vibheda, Bhedakam, the one who destroys, that is the adjective of this Vijnanam. तो परात्म आत्म विभेद भेदकम भास्वरम विज्ञानम. So that self-shining direct experience which destroys the difference between the individual and the all-pervading self, when that takes place in the spiritual heart, and that is the integrated mind and intellect, yada, when, tada, then, what happens? Maya anjasa praviliyate. This Maya or ignorance, praviliyate, is dissolved, is destroyed. Acha, how much time does it take? Anjasa, instantly. How much time does it take for the darkness to go away when the light is there? When the sun rises, how much time does it take for darkness to disappear? Instantly. It is not a process. Slowly, you bring the lamp inside the room or you turn on the light. Then what will you see? You will see the darkness slowly walking out of the door. Keep the door open. Otherwise, it will not have any place to go out. You don't. This is not a process. Instant the light is on, darkness gone. We don't need any time for that. So the knowledge takes place, ignorance disappears that very instant. Tada eva maya anjasa praviliyate. Instantly gone. What did Lakshmana ask? He used the same word, anjasa. Immediately, how can I go across the ocean of ignorance? He says, immediately ignorance will go. When? Tada eva. Only then. When this direct knowledge takes place in the heart. Only then this goes away. Otherwise, how much ever intellectual burden we may have by reading so many scriptures and understanding the meaning and ability to explain to so many people, all these things is not going to get rid of the ignorance. That direct knowledge taking place only in that heart, spiritual heart. That alone is going to ensure. Tada eva. Eva word is important. Only then is this ignorance going to disappear. And how long will it take? Anjasa. Not long at all. Not even a moment. That very instant it is gone. And when Maya goes away, who is this Maya? Who is this ignorance? Atma samsritehe karanam. This Atma samsritehe karanam is the adjective of Maya. Maya is the karanam, the cause of, for us to, Atma, samsriti. Samsriti means samsara, bhava, chakra. That chakra which was said earlier, perform karma. And then, because of that, as a karma phala, this body is born. Then this body performs more karma. And then again, more results, more bodies, more karma. So this karma chakra that is happening, birth and death chakra that is happening, that is called Atma Samsritihi, Atma Samsara. This Atma Samsritehe Karanam, which is Maya, disappears. Disappears, and when Maya disappears, what happens? Sakaraka Maya. Along with all its effects, this ignorance disappears. When ignorance goes away, what happens to its effects? How will effects stay when ignorance only the cause has gone? Without the cause, the effects cannot stay. At night, we find that a lot of crime takes place at night. All the mischief takes place in darkness. Hiding, don't say anything. Shh, go, steal. Happening at night. But as soon as the sun rises, what happens to that crime which is dependent on darkness? Disappeared. Means the cause has gone. In darkness only this is possible. Darkness gone away. Then its effects also gone. Everything dependent on that has gone. When we wake up in the morning, what happens to the dream? Dream is possible only when we are disconnected from the waking world. If we are still aware of the waking world, dream cannot come. No, Swamiji, you don't know us. We can be in the class and simultaneously be in the dream also. We feel it is simultaneous, it is not. When this disconnect with the waking world happens, only then dream is possible. Otherwise, it is not possible. A parallel universe cannot exist when you are already connected to one. It's just not possible. So I am disconnected, even for a moment. I am disconnected, a dream comes up. It can come. But if I am connected to the waking world, if I am awake to the waking world, it will not be possible for me to dream. Even daydreaming, where I am not sleeping, that daydreaming also or imagination also, all this also is possible when I disconnect from this waking world. Otherwise, it's not possible. So as soon as I wake up, that disconnect that was there is gone. Now I am reconnected. Then what happened? The dream also disappears along with it. Sakaraka. So ignorance gone, and along with ignorance, all its effects also disappear. So this Maya disappears when this direct knowledge takes place. Not by mere understanding the words. That alone is not sufficient. So this Vijnanam takes place in this integrated mind intellect, and the Maya, the ignorance disappears, and when ignorance disappears, what remains is only me. I alone am. Then where is the question of crossing over? There is nothing to cross over. I already am that which I am seeking. So therefore, it is only knowledge that is required. So here, how to gain this knowledge? And once this knowledge is gained, will this ignorance come back at some other point? Because that also is there. Now, when we go to a doctor and he gives us some medicines and we say, okay, we are taking medicine. The doctor says, be careful. 1 month you have to take care. If you don't, it will come back. Oh, no, it should not come back. Relapse. So now, this ignorance also, is there a relapse? That I got the knowledge, ignorance went away, and after 1 month, ignorance has come back. So now again I have started crying. Again I feel bound. What if that happens? Once I am awakened, then can I go to sleep? Because if sleep happens and if I again go to ignorance, then what will happen? So he is saying, this Vijnanam is not that much kacha. What it is. So he is saying here in verse number 19, Shruti pramana bhivinashita chasa katham bhavishyatyapi karyakarini vijnanamatradamadvitiyatah amala तस्मादविद्या न पुनर्भविष्यति अविद्या न पुनर्भविष्यति. This knowledge or the direct experience takes place. What is the means of that knowledge? It is very important to understand the means. Otherwise, we may be employing some means and we say it is not happening. So that sadhya sadhana vivek has to be there. I have to understand what is the goal and what is the means, and they both have to be connected. Otherwise, it will not let me achieve what I want. For example, Guruji gives these examples very often. That somebody says, I am attending study group since last 10 years, but I am not getting any promotion in my office. Now, if somebody wants promotion in the office, attending study group is not going to create. Where is the cause? Where is the effect? What is sadhana? What is sadhya? What is the means? What is the goal? Are they connected? So, how can you attend study groups? Your spiritual upliftment will happen, not progress in the career. मैं कितने सालों से महात्मा जी आपके सत्संग सुनता आ रहा हूँ, पर मेरी बेटी की शादी हो ही नहीं रही है. तो वो मेहनत दूसरी होती है. I want to pass in my exams, so I attend your morning class. So then when do you study? Why should I study? Then you will never pass. Because the sadhya and sadhana have to be aligned. Otherwise, it's not going to help. So here also, what is the means to gain that knowledge? That right means have to be there. So if it is not the right means, I will not get the knowledge that is required. And as per the field or the nature of the knowledge, I have to have the correct means also. For example, if I have to understand mathematics, logic is needed. But if I employ the same logic to understand poetry, will it work? It is said, my beloved's face is like the moon. How is it like the moon is circle? And the beloved's face is not exact circle. How can somebody have such a face? And no ears? No hair? गंजी है क्या ये? किसकी बात कर रहे हैं? और वो भी मुंह पे धब्बा? What kind of praise is this? This is insult. Why? Logic. That is why many people don't understand poetry. They will go to an art gallery. क्या है ये सब कुछ भी कलर का ऐसे ऐसे करके रखा है? What is this? Logic, using logic. There is no specific shape. Lines are all, it is not straight lines. You should draw straight lines. So straight line person can be a good engineer, but not an artist. Scale लेके मैं art बना रहा हूँ. It doesn't work. So to appreciate art, I need emotions, I need empathy. That is the way of, and to appreciate something like mathematics or engineering, I need logic. But what is the means of knowing history? Can I use logic for history? No. Okay, can I use emotions to know? I feel that king was good. Why? His name sounds very nice, His name sounds nice, so he was good. Is this the way to know history? You have to have an authentic source of information. That is what is the means. So we have to have the right means to know the knowledge of whichever field we choose to know. It has to be according to that. Now if I want to know about my own self, what is the means? Here he is saying, Shruti Pramana. The only means is Veda. If I want to know that which is beyond the scope of my senses, the means is Veda. So, Shruti Pramana. Through the knowledge of the Veda, which is the valid means for this self-knowledge, why is it the valid means? Because actually this Shruti Vakya is nothing but the experiences of the rishis expressed in words. It is the experience. First experience happened, after that words came. It is not description. It is just experience. And sometimes it may not have grammatical correctness. It may not have accuracy in terms of grammar. But it is an experience. That the potency of those words will be able to lift us to that. That kind of. So this expression of that experience, and that is why it is a valid means. Because it is tested, already experience has happened, Vijnanam has taken place, and then the words have come out. That is the best. So Shruti Pramana, Abhivinashita cha sa Maya, this Maya, Nashita means destroyed. Vinashita means completely destroyed. Abhivinashita means destroyed from all ways, in every possible way. It is completely annihilated. This Maya or ignorance is completely destroyed by the Shruti Pramana, and that Pramana takes place, and then this direct knowledge through that. So we need a Guru as the medium to help us tread this path. And then he's saying, Katham bhavishyatyapi karyakarini. Once she is completely, she means this ignorance, is completely destroyed, then how is it possible that she will produce effects? If Maya or the ignorance has been destroyed, after that, how is it possible to produce effects? Karyakarini, katham bhavishyati. How can she become the producer of effects? So she herself is not there. How will she produce any effects? So let us say, in a class, there is one child who is very mischievous and noisy. Every day the teacher feels, what is this? How to control him? How to quieten him? How to struggle? One day the child is absent in the class. He said, no, the child only has not come. So, there is no mischief, no noise. The teacher says, it looks so different, Why is he not come? I am missing him. I am missing all the noise. Because all my effort, all my activity was there, focused on quietening him. Now he is not there. I am feeling incomplete. I am missing him. Bring him back so that I can get. We are like that. Ignorance is there. Because of that, all the effects of ignorance are there. And then I am running after here and there, crying, sorrowful, in bondage. And then ignorance goes away. Life is so boring. No pressure, no sorrow. Because no effect of Maya will come, no effect of ignorance, no kamana, no karma. Oh, such a life will be so boring. We as ignorant people imagine that and say it will be so boring. I am missing my ignorance. Gurudev used to say, if you are going to miss, then don't close the book. Don't study further. Because after that, even if you want it, you will not get it. This knowledge is such which will destroy this ignorance once and for all. Then no effects of ignorance also. No desire, no anger, no greed, no jealousy, no vanity, no sorrow, no bondage, no likes and dislikes. All the effects of Maya, karyakarini, katham bhavishyati api. How will she produce all the results? She herself is not there. So nothing is going to be produced. The cause is gone. How does the cause go? Vijnana matrat. Just by the direct experience. That supreme knowledge. Just by that, Vijnana matrat. Gone. Amala advitiyataha. What is the nature of that Vijnanam? Amala, pure. When we say pure means there is nothing but itself. So that itself is called as Ekam. That itself is called Advitiyataha. Advitiya means there is no second. Just that alone. This kind of direct experience where I see nothing else but me. So, does a jnani not see the world? He sees the world, but not in the way we see it. We see the world as different from myself. The jnani sees the world as himself. Nothing but himself. That is the difference. When I am in the dream, I see everything to be different from myself. But when I wake up from the dream, that same dream when I think of, I see everything as myself. That is the difference between the vision of a jnani and us. So here, Vijnana Matrad Amala Advitiyataha, this, just by this direct experience, this Maya is destroyed. Therefore, she cannot produce any more effects, no bondage, no sorrow. Therefore, tasmat avidya na punar bhavishyati. Therefore, this avidya can never come back. Ignorance can never come back. Because the cause itself is annihilated from the very roots. Now there is nothing left. It can never come back. This is a very, very important, unique aspect of this knowledge. Nothing else gives such a guarantee. Does the school, when we get the 12th grade passing certificate or the mark sheet, does the school say, you will never forget this knowledge in your life? That same student who stood first, after 2 months you give the same paper, he will fail. There is no guarantee that whole life you will, never shall ignorance come back. Any object knowledge, ignorance can come back. It is possible. But self-knowledge, it is me. It is not through the instruments of intellect. There can be dementia here, but not in self-knowledge, because I don't have to remember. Well, remembrance also is the faculty of the mind intellect. That is also not required here. I don't have to experience the way we experience the objects. I don't need senses here. When the senses, mind, intellect, all these quieten themselves, then the experience of me. Then once that is known, then how will I ever return to the state of ignorance? It is not possible. We all wake up in the morning. Sometimes we wake up directly from a dream. That's when the dream is very fresh and we remember most of it. So sometimes, we may all have experienced that I was doing some work in the dream. I was cleaning my fridge in the dream. Why would one clean fridge in the dream also? We don't know, whatever. And one shelf was just remaining. I had finished the whole thing. One last shelf was remaining and I woke up. Now someone who is cleaning maniac, that person would say, let me go back into the dream and finish that also. Adhura reh gaya kaam. Sometimes, you are having an ice cream in the dream. So you got the ice cream, you are scooping it with the spoon and about to put in the mouth and you wake up. That is a very cruel dream, but it happens. You wake up, you are almost going to put it, jaag gaye. Now what to do? Sometimes we do this. 2 minutes, let me sleep. खा लूँ मैं, फिर उठता हूँ. We imagine. But the point is, am I able to enter the dream again? That same dream? Even if I enter, will I feel it is real? Will I feel the same experience as it was before? I may imagine the same dream world and imagine I have entered. But actually, I am not entering it because I cannot. Once I have woken up from a dream, it is impossible to go back to that dream. Same way, once this direct knowledge of the self has come to me, then it is impossible to go back to ignorance. Just not possible. Even in smaller skills, we find this happening. Once I have learnt how to swim, even if I wish to, I cannot drown. I say, I want to drown, I want to give up my life, jump into the river. I will come up. I say, no, don't swim, I have to drown. It is not possible. We may not have entered waters for years together, but that skill which is there, it will be with us. I may not be so comfortable or so, I may not be an expert, but that skill will. Now, if it is true for a physical skill, what to talk of self knowledge? How can I go back to ignorance? It is not possible. So, this is a great guarantee that our rishis are giving us. Here, Bhagavan Ramchandra ji is saying, once you cross over, done, then there is no looking back. Our saints say, you cross over this river of ignorance, and after you go to the other bank, you turn around and see there was no river. Oh, what happened? Where is it? It's not there. So if there is no waters, there is no river, where is there a chance of again falling into it? This is what Mirabai says, Bhavasagar sab sukh gayo hai. It has disappeared. Why? It was never there. I imagined it. And under its influence, I was myself suffering. But once I have crossed over, once that ignorance has gone forever, it is never going to return. So, tasmad avidya na punar bhavishyati. It will never come back. Then, if it is never going to come back, then what will happen? So as though Bhagavan is telling a story. हाँ आगे क्या हुआ बताओ आगे क्या होता है? So Bhagavan is saying आगे क्या होता है? So he is saying यदिस्म नष्टा न पुनः प्रसूयते कर्ताहमस्येति मतिः कथं भवेत्? मतिः कथं भवेत्? तस्मात् स्वतन्त्रा न किमप्यपेक्षते तंत्रा न किमप्यपेक्षते विद्या विमोक्षाय विभाति केवला. And he says yadisma nashta, and as you have indicated, if this avidya or maya is nashta, is destroyed, and na punaf prasuyate, and doesn't come back to life again. She is destroyed forever. This avidya, this maya, this ignorance has gone forever. If that is the case, that this ignorance has been destroyed and will never come back, then aham asya karta iti matihi katham bhavet? Then I am the doer of this action, this kind of thought, how will it come? Because I know I am that akarta self. I am that self which is never a doer. Whom we right now try to call it by the word like witness. That I am the witness. In my presence, everything is happening. Shankaracharya ji gives the example of a king. The king is just there. He is not himself doing anything, but in his presence, everything is happening. Puja Guruji gives this example of a small infant. This infant also is like the king only. Everything is centered around the infant. That infant does nothing. पड़ा रहता है. But पूरे घर को बिजी रखा है उसने. All activities happen just by his mere presence. The child is there, the whole household is engaged in that. He is like the king. He is like Brahman. Just by the mere presence. So I am Akarta. Once I have known I am Akarta Atma, this Vijnanam has happened, that Ajnanam has been destroyed forever. After that, again to imagine myself to be a doer of an action, how is it possible? Katham bhavet? Asya karta aham. I am the doer of this action. Katham bhavet? How is it possible that such a mati, such an understanding or such a notion will come to my mind? Such notions are not possible anymore. For example, this Janak Maharaj had a dream. He saw Janak Maharaj was such a prosperous king and highly knowledgeable, and he had a dream that he was a beggar and he was begging around. And he woke up suddenly. And when he woke up, he started questioning. That is the difference between Janak Maharaj and us. He started questioning, who is real? Is this king real? Or is that beggar real? Because when I was a beggar, I felt that is real. Now when I am a king, I feel this is real. Am I one of these or neither of these? What is my true identity? And then he goes to Ashtavakra Rishi, and then Ashtavakra ji instructs him with the highest knowledge. But this, on waking up, he says, how did I become the beggar? Now in that dream I was a beggar. I did not have anything to even eat. So I am feeling hungry and I need food. Please give me. Beggar. But after I wake up, will I ever feel, or will that king ever feel that he is a beggar? Why would he feel? He never feels. In the dream, yes, he felt. But once that dream, the ignorance, the disconnect with the waking state is destroyed, he reconnects to his true identity in the waking state. He is a king. Therefore, he will never have the notion of I am a beggar ever. He will give, not beg. So that notion will never come. Karta asya aham iti matihi katham bhavet. How is it possible? Why? Because this ignorance has gone forever and is never going to return. Tasmat, therefore, Bhagavan, what do you want to say? Bhagavan is saying, therefore, hey Lakshmana, understand, Vidya Swatantra. Knowledge is independent. Na kimapi apekshate, does not need any other support of action or anything else. You often feel knowledge is done. Now I have to practice that knowledge, and that is called yoga. So I say, okay, now jnaan to le liya, abhi yoga karna hai. What practice? Knowledge itself is the means and the end. Swatantra, na kimapi apekshate. No need for any more other further practice. What practice? I am the blissful self. What? How will you practice? I'll tell myself, I am the blissful self, I am the blissful self, I am the blissful self, I am the blissful self. When we tell ourselves in this manner, I am the blissful self, we are actually strengthening our ignorance that I am sorrowful. That is why I have to tell myself. It is like telling ourselves, I am a human being, I am a human being, I am a human being. Why do we have to say? Because I think I am not. Only then I will say. Otherwise, if I know I am a human being, why should I say it? Whether to myself or to others. Anybody comes, a guest comes to my house. Welcome, I am a human being, okay? Now sit down. I am a human being, take this water. I am a human being, will you have a cup of tea? This person says, मुझे तो डर लग रहा है इधर, पता नहीं क्या आएगा चाय के नाम पे. Why do I have to say? If I already know it, only when I have a doubt will I have to again and again say it. So what practice? Na kimapi apekshate, just knowledge itself is enough. But why does it take some time? Again, that is a preparation. I am not able to digest it because for me, the present existence and these wrong identifications and notions are the ones which are real for me. So this habitual error has to be removed, and that is why I have to listen, Shravanam, then reflect on it, Mananam, and then practice meditation, Nididhyasanam. All this is required only for that. Otherwise, Raman Maharshi says, you don't need to even think about it. Knowing itself is enough. But reflection is required for those who have a weak intellect. Weak means weak in Shraddha. Weak in Viveka. If this is not there, then what happens? I have to keep on reflecting. How is it possible that I am the blissful self? I am so sorrowful. I can believe if I was told that I am Dukkha Swarupa Atma, but I am Sukha Swarupa, it is saying. I don't experience it anytime, anywhere. Why is it like this? I have to. But otherwise, if I don't give reality to my experience and reality only to the scripture, it is done. I have experienced it. And if I have experienced it, then nothing else is going to take that away from me. If a doctor comes and declares that I am dead, so do I believe? Do I say, डॉक्टर ने पढ़ाई की है, मैंने थोड़ी मेडिसिन की पढ़ाई की. डॉक्टर ने बोला है तो अब तो मानना ही पड़ेगा मुझे. तो मैं लेट जाता हूँ, मुझे ले जाओ. डॉक्टर ने बोला है, आई हैव टू. अरे इट इज माई डायरेक्ट एक्सपीरियंस, आई एम अलाइव. This man was doing some shavasana. The wife got worried. She came, started checking, did not check too much. I said, gone. Called the doctor. The doctor was also COVID batch. So he said, he came, gone. Certificate given. She called all her relatives, everyone has gathered, everything. This man after some time woke up. Said, what is this? What have you done? What is it? I was just doing shavasana. What is it? What is it? She is saying, लेट जाओ. डॉक्टर ने बोल दिया है ना, बस. Why are, अरे डॉक्टर may say anything. But it is my direct experience. I am alive. I don't need anyone to certify. Similarly, once I myself know I am that infinite bliss myself, then what else do I need? Do I need any certificate? Even I don't need a certificate from my guru also. My guru looks at me and I look at the guru. Guru knows I've got it. Done. I don't need anyone to tell me, and I don't need to tell myself also. I am the blissful self. I am the bliss. अरे क्यों? अभी तो पता है. Nothing else. न किमपि अपेक्षते. स्वतंत्रा विद्या. Vimokshaya vibhati kevala. Kevala alone. This knowledge itself, this vidya itself, Vimokshaya vibhati, is effective enough to take me to liberation. So nothing else is needed, just knowledge. So Lakshmana's question was what? How can I cross over this river or ocean of ignorance? Ajnana varidhim anjasa katham tarishye. So what is the answer? Vidya alone, nothing else. So further we will see. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.